We begin with the ICU at a Lee Summit Hospital at capacity with most of those patients sick from COVID-19. Good evening, everybody. I'm Chris Ketz.
And I'm Haley Harrison. KMBC9's Bianca Beltran spoke with a doctor about the sharp rise in cases and how they are straining hospital staff all around the metro.
Kansas City is in a state of crisis.
A warning not given lightly by a doctor who's been on the front lines of the pandemic since the beginning.
We, at the bedside of patients, whether they're suffering from coronavirus or any other injury or illness, are quite literally running from one fire to the next.
Dr. Schlachter says St. Luke's East has seen a 233% increase in COVID-19 patients in the last month. The ICU is at capacity with the majority of patients hospitalized by the virus.
What's different now is that, again, we are seeing younger patients, sicker patients, patients who are baseline healthy before getting coronavirus.
It's not just the ability to treat patients suffering from COVID-19, it's also the hospital's ability to respond to other medical emergencies.
We cannot take care of your non-COVID problem if we're full or any hospital is full of COVID-related injuries and illness.
He says 80% of COVID patients in need of intensive care are not vaccinated.
And I think that's just telling. It's telling how important a vaccination is in trying to stay out of an ICU and to not being critically ill related to this virus.
Bianca Beltran, KMBC 9 News.
Across St. Luke's health system, hospitals are caring for 189 COVID patients and approaching the peak number of patients they saw in previous surges.
Health experts across the country are seeing people trying to use unorthodox treatments to prevent COVID-19. The University of Kansas Health System's Poison Control Hotline is getting 1 to 3 calls a month from people who have ingested ivermectin, a drug often used to treat livestock for parasites. It can be prescribed to humans in small doses, but some people are using the drug intended for horses, and doctors say you should never do this.
People don't want to get a vaccine because they're being, they may get a headache or feel bad for a day or two. But, if you take ivermectin in the wrong way or you take too much, you can certainly get toxicity from it, including central nervous system toxicity and things like that.
Doctors stress ivermectin is for animals, by the way, is different than what is used for humans, and it can be dangerous. Here are the latest COVID positivity rates. Missouri's rate now at 13.1% of COVID tests coming back positive. We expect an update from Kansas tomorrow. At last check, the state's positivity rate was at 10.3%.
Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt is taking school mask mandates to court. Michael Mahoney says that he's suing the Columbia School District, but that suit could actually affect other districts as well.
The Columbia schools have a mask mandate, even though the city council rejected one for the town because they're separate political jurisdictions. Schmidt says the mask mandate flies in the face of science and could hinder critical development by elimination of facial cues and expressions. He was immediately challenged.
That rock has been looked under. We know that the data is there. We know that masks work. Let's put it back down and let's move on.
Kids 11 and younger cannot be vaccinated yet. Kids 12 to 17 can get the Pfizer shot. The Center for Disease Control says 25% of young Missourians are in that category and 28% of young Kansans have taken the shot. Today, the Missouri Foundation for Health started a campaign to get as many adults as possible who are in school settings vaccinated, comparing it to other ways people protect kids.
Car seats, winter coats, hats, gloves, mittens, all of those things, because those are layers of protection.
In a KMBC interview, North Carolina State COVID researcher Professor Julie Swan's new research shows that students in school not wearing a mask risk infecting 75% of their classmates, especially where vaccination rates are low.
Or in places in schools when there is not much existing protection, like elementary schools.
Almost nobody expects a vaccine for kids under 12 until very late this year, or probably in 2022. Michael Mahoney, KMBC 9 News.
And where Michael is there at Children's Mercy, the head of emergency medicine says that they have 16 COVID patients, 5 of them in the ICU, and at least 1 case in their neonatal ICU. We want to take a look now at vaccination rates across the metro. Johnson County, Kansas, still in the lead here with 58.5% of its population fully vaccinated. Kansas City, Missouri has nearly 42% of people vaccinated, and Cass County has vaccinated almost 36% of its population. New vaccine mandates are being issued all across the country following the FDA's full approval of the Pfizer vaccine.
KMBC 9's Christopher Salas is in our Washington bureau with the White House message on mandates.
We're working to encourage more vaccination, including through vaccination requirements.
Within hours of the FDA's full approval of the Pfizer vaccine, private companies, government agencies, and universities announcing new vaccine mandates.
We expect more and more to follow.
About 85 million eligible Americans have yet to receive a vaccine. Back in June, 30% of unvaccinated people said they were more likely to get the shot after full approval. Meanwhile, the CDC says in 23 states, at least a third of all adults still have not received a single shot.
As cases, hospitalizations, and deaths continue to rise, I want to re-emphasize the serious risk of COVID, especially to the unvaccinated.
In Kentucky,
our hospitals are overrun right now.
The National Guard has been called in, as all but one county is in the state's most critical COVID tier. And a small Texas town has essentially closed after its positivity rate reached 42%. While other parts of the country also deal with the Delta surge, Dr. Anthony Fauci said Tuesday the pandemic could be under control by spring 2022.
Get vaccinated, and the time frame will be truncated dramatically.
Reporting in Washington, I'm Christopher Salas, KMBC 9 News.
The task force said today that first-time vaccinations are increasing in Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. More people got their first shot in the past month than in the prior 2 months combined.
In Kansas, people who oppose mask requirements or limits on public gatherings can now challenge them in court and get a ruling in 10 days. The state Supreme Court made that decision this morning. The rule was enacted in March by the Republican-controlled legislature to restrict the emergency powers of Governor Laura Kelly and county officials. Last month, a Johnson County judge said that the law violated the state constitution, but Attorney General Derek Schmidt appealed. The decision doesn't apply to school board decisions.